Candid.
Like,
Today evening, we have none other than our District Director DTM Nirmala Lily with us, the Iron Lady of District 121, who needs no further introduction because she is a face which almost everybody knows. A face with familiarity and that feeling that she's family. Welcome, ma'am, to Let's Get Candid.
Thank you, and I am humbled.
The first time when I met our DTM Nirmala Lily was at Kochi Forte at Leh Meridian when we had a speaker called Sabine Hegde, Toastmaster Sabine Hegde. He had joined and he was having these events and he was teaming up different people. And I teamed up with this very gracious lady. And I had no clue back then that she's going to be the district director and I would have to sit here and have a conversation with her like this. And ever since that, the name Nirmala Lily was so familiar for me. And after that, when I see she's everywhere, wherever I go, she's everywhere. She enters the room, lot of energy, lot of enthusiasm, and I start thinking, how is she getting all this energy from? So, first question to you that I have is, what is the secret of your energy?
I am a workaholic and I love working 24/7. I am a hotelier. When you work with a hotel, you are not supposed to look at your watch or at the calendar. You will be working 24/7. Maybe I'm used this kind of work for the past 30 years. Maybe that is the reason that I love working. And if I don't have anything to do, I'm very lazy. I won't be able to do anything at all. So I really want too many things to do at a time. I'm not a perfectionist, but I will manage everything at the same time.
Okay.
it's also really interesting how many accolades and awards you have achieved. And is it even humanly possible to be able to achieve so much? And I would also want to ask you, how do you strike a balance between your work and your personal time and your family? And how do you strike a balance?
Time, actually, we create. If you really want, you can find time for anything and everything. I always think I'm only doing little. I compare with our Kerala State Minister and sometimes with the Prime Minister, how they get time. And a small case, I don't want to mention what kind of a case, they know, they are answerable. And big thing, the entire world, what is happening, everything they know. Then I think compared to all these people, I am just small, very, very, very small. I can't say that word, but I'm doing very little. I feel that I should do much more than this, and all of us can do it. If you have a mind, you can do it.
Is there something you would suggest for, for someone like me or Vishnu, we're just budding Toastmasters, and what would you suggest for us in order to be able to relentlessly be able to strike a balance in anything that we do?
Yeah, balance, you asked me the question. And how I do is, there are too many things, as you said, I am involved in. When I take one thing, I will finish that and go to the next. And you will not believe if I say something, I'm not a properly planned person. If you take any successful person, they will be having a diary and every time they will time it. But what I do is, I will finish everything then and there. If I have forgotten to do something, middle of the night I'll remember, I don't know how, and I'll get up and just find whether I have finished it or not. Otherwise I'll be doing the next day. So far okay, I'm just doing it. And you, both of you are very young, energetic, talented, highly talented people. I think I should get energy and some support from both of you. My mantra is, I get involved into whatever I do 100%. Maybe maybe I don't know anything. See, look at me. After a break of 8 years, I came back to the top position, and people will be thinking that whether she will be able to manage. It's all little time. You need to Jerry concentrate. Little time you can spend. You will be back, and then plunge into it and involve 100%, and the result will definitely come. Everything you should have a passion. And if you're not passionate about something, just leave it and go for something that you are interested in. Then you will be successful. And everybody can do more than one thing at a time. I definitely believe, especially multitasking. Women are known for multitaskers, isn't it? You can do. And Vishnu is already a talented person, and he's doing 101 things, I know for sure. Both of you are going to be, you are already successful, and definitely, and your concentration, your hard work, your passion, definitely, and there should be a purpose, and you should be ready to prepare well, and then preparation is essential for anything and everything you do. Another thing is, you really want to become something, you should have an auto suggestion in your mind. You should think about it all the time. When you sleep, when you get up, when you do something else, so you can have a thought behind your back, and that one day that will come into your hand. That might not come the time when you want it, but for sure that will come, if not today, tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah, so DTM Nirmala, you have been so successful in everything you do, right? So there has to be one thing that you do repetitively every day, right? Like there should be at least one thing which is a part of your routine which you don't miss out. So what is that? We want to know. What is that secret ingredient in your daily life that you manage to not miss out on a daily basis?
Maybe my friends, my success, if you ask me, not one person. There are many people. People are my strength, and I'm a people person. The certain calls I'm supposed to make, certain people I have to make, I have to speak on a daily basis. I will not miss them, and if I miss, they will not miss the call. They will call me. Maybe if I am down, I only have to pick up the phone and just call. All worries will go away. But therefore, I think that is one thing that is the energy for me. People.
Message that you would like to really give out to all the women as well as the men, but because being a woman, it's really challenging, and I completely understand that. So how is it that you manage all this, and just one message that would really drive the message home to all the youngsters out there?
Be candid. See, whatever you're doing, if you hide something and do it, nothing will be successful. And you should be 100% sincere on whatever you do. Success will definitely follow. Don't just work for your success. Success is something. And the power of giving. See, always we have seen what is in it for me. Don't ask that. Just try to give as much as you can. And you give it to someone, don't expect anything back, and you will get in abundance from somewhere else. And then whatever you do it, involve 100%, and definitely future and the success is yours.
Thank you so much. One of the most active and vibrant Toastmasters that I have encountered so far. She's very fond of Rajinikanth and also a biryani lover. So let's give it up for Vanitha Rangarajan, who's the program quality director of District 120.
Yay.
Let's give it up. How does it feel, Vanitha, to be the program quality director of District 121?
Overwhelming. Do you know that feeling what a VP education gets when they take on that role? I mean, it's a great role. It's one step close to the president, but it's the maximum work that you can do in a club. That's the feeling. I am very excited because this is the time that I can get together with the members, just like how a VP Ed is the connecting point between everybody. Similarly, I feel that about the district. It's a lot of responsibility. Quality is not very quantifiable, so it gives that a little more a challenge for me. Saying how do I make like my mark as a PQD in the this thing. I don't have numbers to check off. I just have things to do, and I want people to remember the things that I do. So yeah, right now the feeling is overwhelming.
Okay.
Awesome.
You know, there's this really interesting thing about Vanita, which you should know, is only a Chennaiite would know the feeling of going and meeting another Chennaiite in a room full of Bangaloreans. And that was Vanita for me. In one of the clubs I went for a speech. It was the first time, and it was really nice to know that it's an instant light up when you know that there's someone from Chennai. And it's not just that. There's no such thing as a first time encounter with Vanita, because instantly she'll make you feel like very warm and very approachable as a person itself. So Vanita, would you like to tell me what is it that you ensure, you network with so many people on a day-to-day basis, right? And you meet so many different people you've never met before. So what is the first thing you always have in mind when you start off, or when you always ensure that, I have to ensure this is the thing with every interaction I have?
The one thing that I want to make sure that I do with every interaction I have is to keep it real. So you will not find me giving you a fake compliment. If you don't deserve a compliment, then I'm keeping my mouth shut, most likely. I am only telling you the truth, and I probably will say it 4 times more than somebody else, but it'll be the truth in case you want to hear a compliment. I observe things that others don't. I think those are things that I consciously keep in mind, and I don't say the usual stuff. And I always don't lose an opportunity to say thank you. That's one of the things that has gotten me this far. And I know that just the attitude of gratitude will take you, wherever you want to go. So just some things in my head. Like when I go out to a place, I know that this is the person that I'm really grateful for what I'm doing right now. And because I've never really been an introvert, I always look out for that introvert in the room to make sure that they are the most comfortable, because that's what we are here for, right? Networking and making sure strangers feel comfortable with speaking. That's the whole essence of Toastmasters. So, yeah.
That's amazing. Raksha, I've seen Vanita so many times. Okay, the first time I've seen Vanita is at, I think, Kochi Forte, Le Meridian, and then at Confluence, Kochi. So the interesting fact about Vanita is that, whenever she walks into the room, there's this infectious energy that she feels in the room. It's like she walks in and it's like that slow motion Kabali song is being played inside your head, and you can see that, when Vanita walks in, it's like everything just becomes slow motion, and she fills in this room with this, amazing positive energy. So Vanita, what is that, and what is the source of that energy? What is the secret of your energy which is limitless?
All right, thank you, Vishnu, for do one whistle for you, because you mentioned Kabali. But seriously, if I were to tell you something, you would be really, really surprised. But that is the truth. I'm actually a very lazy person. I am very, very lazy person. So everything that I want to do is an effort that I have to take to make sure that, that lazy self of me doesn't come out. And so I end up doing the X number of things. On most days, I end up doing 2X, do a little more than what I actually can, but I make sure my plate's full just because I don't go back to my lazy mode. On a normal day, I would just sit and not do anything. And I don't have days like that simply because I don't want to have days like that. The energy bit is really about how I look at life itself. I'm just overexcited about everything. The small games that I play with my children, or just the walks that I take downstairs, I would make a big deal out of everything. I would say hello to random strangers, and the uncles and the aunties who are going on the jogging track would know my name, just because it's too boring to be normal kind of this thing. So that's probably why I look a certain way when I come into a room. But that's a big compliment, Vishnu. So I'm going to make sure I get my husband to hear all of this. Like, these are the nicest things that people are saying about me. You send me a copy of this recording, right?
With that, Vanita, there's also something that you just carried very effortlessly, and it is quite it is easy for you to say, but we know that you do go through so many different things because you handle your family, you have work, you have children, and you have Toastmasters, and you are the program quality director. So, two things. One is, what is it that you do to keep yourself sane within all this? There's so much chaos, right? Like, so how do you keep yourself sane? And what do you do to strike the balance between the work and your family?
All right. One of the things, I think I probably mentioned it in some Women in Toastmasters event recently, and that's a big wake-up call for me itself. I used to beat myself to perfection. Like, everything that I used to do, I needed like 100% perfect. I'm not saying it's a quality just that some people have. I think most people have, and sadly most women have that you just want to be good at everything that you do and absolutely okay at all places. One of the things that has really taught me in the last few months is it's okay to be average somewhere else if you are fantastic in one place. Which means on a given day that I've gone out to a division meet, I'm out the whole day. I have told I have a godsend cook at home who does a little more than just cooking. She also grooms my children, and my husband's this 100% co-parenting husband. So when I leave the house, I know that my children will be alive when I come back. And so that is all that matters to me on that day. Because my full focus on that day is for the division meet to see how I can engage with the members and things like that. On the other day that I am out with my children, COVID days rather, when we could go on a trip or a day trip or something, my phone's just shut off. That day, I'm a zero Toastmaster. I'm just fully that mother for my children, bungee jumping with them and doing all of those rides with them and things like that. So I think that's one way that I'm able to strike a balance, because I'm fully present at one place and I make sure that things will go just about okay in the other place that I'm supposed to be at, because clearly you can't be everywhere. So that's one thing that tells me, slow down, and it's okay to not be in another place as long as things are just about okay. Yeah.
That is amazing, Manita. So, since you were striking a balance between your personal, professional, as well as your Toastmaster life, one thing I would like to ask: imagine your life right now is a Toastmasters meeting. Then, what kind of a Toastmaster are you? Are you a grammarian? Are you a general evaluator? Or are you the table topic master? Are you the timer? Are you the accountant? Or the presidential speech? What kind of Toastmaster are you?
I'd say general evaluator. I'm just constantly throwing my opinion, whether you want it or not. So I guess general evaluator. My husband would know that I'm the general evaluator. I'm just constantly telling improve, and maybe GE. If I were to pick a role that associates with me, then definitely general evaluator. Like it or not, general evaluator.
I was. I'm sure everybody wants somebody to be, someone to judge them in their house, but it's okay. So I was just speaking with Raksha. So Raksha was telling me what kind of Toastmaster she is. So she has been a grammarian all her life, and she was just telling me this interesting thing which happened in her college. What was that, Raksha?
Okay, so Vanita, I'm sure you get Chennai colloquial tongue. You will understand. So this happened in first year of college. I was completely, I'm a Kannadiga, but I've lived in Chennai for many years of my life. So when I went to Ooty, it was most of them were Tamil, and they spoke really good Tamil. So one day they asked me something, and I replied something else, and they were like, Podi Kammanati. And I have this grammar Nazi inside me walking around guarded all the time. I was like, they are the Kammanati Lada community in Solidar. And for the next 5 years, I was mocked for the whole time, let me tell you. I swear, I was mocked for the next 5 years continuously. There were many such jokes, Aksha jokes going on in college because of the Tamil I spoke, but it was a great time. Well, that was
one. Tamil, say Tamil, not Tamil. Tamil. Can you say R?
Tamil.
Mara.
Just messing with you.
You're from Kerala also, Raksha.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess Vishnu, Malayalis can get the R very comfortably, right? Just like Tamilians. Everybody else has to struggle with the banana is not called Valai Palam or Valai or whatever the versions are. It's a Valai Param. Yeah. So the R is the rolling earth.
It's done, we'll ensure you say 10 times Param, or Vada Padam.
Param, right in position, not right. Like say in position. Okay, 10 times. Valai Param. How can you not say Kamnati properly?
Okay. So now we know a little more about our PQD. We know a little about our personal life. About our professional life. We know a few of our habits and this thing. So another thing we wanted to ask you. We know that you are a great singer. Okay. So what are the other artistic inclinations that you have?
Zero. Okay, so if you count dancing at a nightclub as anything artistic, then maybe yes, because I do like to dance. I am a party person. I was a party person before children happened, and now they're having the permanent party. I'm somehow just figuring out my stuff around them.
DJ of the house.
Yeah, I get to see so much of your social media, Vanita. You're so active, and I seriously wondered. It really takes effort to be active on social media. Am I right? Because you have to constantly keep updating, and you also enjoy it, obviously.
I actually don't need to constantly keep updating. I just want to do it. Like it's just one of those things that I like doing, and I don't always say fun stuff. I also say like tortures that I go through, which is like last night I was hearing my husband sing. So you get the stuff that's on social media too. Like on my WhatsApp stories, you'd hear my husband singing. It's not fun for everybody else. Certainly not fun for me, but I'm still putting it. It's just things that I enjoy being a part of, and social media is just one of those. I just like to keep current, and also I have this really bad habit: pick up the phone call and call people that I really care about. It's just one of those things that never come. Even when I was dating my now husband, then boyfriend, it always used to be him making the calls. And then he would just constantly wonder, like, one time phone para matya, like, want to just like strike you? And I'm like, no, like when you talk, when he calls me, I would just properly have a conversation with him, like, everything is just fine. And he would be like, how come it just doesn't strike you to call? And it just doesn't. So I find social media is that answer for my dad, who constantly wants to know what I'm up to and what my children are up to. And so we've got them on the technology. My dad's on a Facebook. You would see all my posts having his biggest heart and biggest comment. My sister, everybody's connected because they all see what I'm doing. And so please just don't mind that I'm not calling you. It's just one of those things. So
not at all.
The reason why I need to be on social media is just, everybody else knows I'm alive. And I kind of enjoy it as well. Sometimes I overdo it, which I don't know. Like, I mean, I put like 10 posts instead of just one Instagram story or something like that. But yeah, I mean, those are those days as well.
No, it's actually very interesting, Vanita, because there are times when I do go to your profile and I see, did Vanita put a story today? Because it's really interesting. I really like to see how you manage your work, Toastmasters, and your family. It's really nice to see. And especially during these times, we need it, right? Because there is so much going on in the world, and what better than connect to this? So it's completely amazing. What you do.
I totally agree with you. Like, we need the social. There shouldn't be any social distancing. Physical distancing, yes, but you should be most connected with anybody that you know now more than ever. You need it more than them needing it. I think you need it just for maintaining your sanity and things like that. Like, while it's very, very, very beautiful that you get to spend so much quality time with your husband and kids and all, you also need that time off, right? I never realized that I was getting so much time off to just be myself when I used to go to work, just go to places. And now when I realized that it's like I have to work within this constraint or within this equation right now, and I can't change too many things. So I'm just making the best use of when I go on social media. I feel like I'm in a whole different world. I'm in somebody else's life for that brief minute that I'm browsing through their pictures. I think that's how social media works. Right? So I make it a point to let everyone know that hey, it's COVID and all, we're also surviving, we're fine here. And so I'm seeing the same thing in friends that I care about and things like that. Yeah.
All right. So there's something else I wanted to ask you. So you work in Oracle and you work in Toastmasters as well. So how exactly do you strike a chord? Like, how is Toastmaster influencing your work life, and how is work life influencing your Toastmasters? Is there a bridge, or what is that you want to tell us?
Okay. I'll tell you a lot of things that worked for me in Oracle. I'm a PeopleSoft consultant at Oracle. I do have a full-time job that pays me, which is not Toastmasters. Just letting everybody else know. So one of the things that really worked for me, and I
see you as a full-time Toastmasters.
I know. That's why I had to clarify. Like I get that on my face a lot of times, saying, you know, you're just doing Toastmasters the whole time, and I'm like, no. I just make sure that I have time for everything else. I am fairly okay in the work that I do, and my manager doesn't seem to have a problem. I don't see why you should have a problem if I'm doing a lot of Toastmasters. Basically, this is just passion, right? Like you're just committed to the cause and things like that. And so if I'm doing this, that means I've stopped doing something else. Clearly, I can't make that much time otherwise. And work is work. You can't compromise on things like that. One of the things that I've constantly seen myself doing better is, so I used to do events in Oracle. I used to head the committees all over India to organize events at the respective Oracle locations. It's an employee engagement section. And so I used to head that. I was the All India secretary for that. I stepped down. I took a break from that fun at work that whole bit, so that I could, give myself 100% commitment as a division director, and then the club growth director, and now the program quality director. So it takes some amount of juggling. You become somewhere else. You're no longer the prominent person, and then you have to put your time somewhere else. So I'm okay to do that. I've learned a lot of techniques from Toastmasters that has really helped me to do my work better. Like, for example, I have a to-do list, and I would put things on the to-do. I could take the things on the to-do and move it to the day 3 or the day 4. Like say, for example, I couldn't do something today. It's okay for me to move it to like 2-3 days later. But on the 4th day, I follow like a technique called the eat the frog. This was something that I picked up in one of the Toastmaster club educational sessions. And they said, do the hardest task or the most difficult task first and just get done with that. And so that it never comes up in your to-do list again. So I have that, and that works like a charm for me. I don't really go to the deadline date. Oh, there are plenty of things that I miss on the deadline as well. I'll have to be really honest, because my manager can watch this video and he will know. But the idea is that, the most difficult thing, the one that I keep pushing off for a few days, I make it a point that one day I just wake up and that's the first thing that I do in my morning quiet. I do wake up earlier than the rest of the family. So I get like a few hours all to myself, and I think the most productive work that I do is in those hours. So that's the constant, I'm able to do that juggle because it's 100% anywhere that I am. When I'm zoned out, I'm zoned out completely. So that's the same thing with either work or at Toastmasters or something. The other thing that Toastmasters has really helped me to become is to be confident to lead projects. So I've always been this individual contributor at work, and you give me a lot of work and I'll be able to do everything, but it'll just be me. But being in the Toastmaster leadership in the last few years has been a little more comfortable for me. It's made me a little more comfortable projects and to go global and work with all kinds of people, bringing together for any process that needs to be put in place, and those kind of things. So I feel like I owe a lot to the way that I look at work right now. And I'm constantly finding, challenges to do. Like the conversation that I have with my boss is to tell him that, I need something else more, challenging. This seems a little too okay-ish for me to do. And then he would throw me in a project which I will, fumble for the next couple of months and figure out how to do it. But that's how we all learn in our, whatever journey that we are in, right? So he gives me those kind of opportunities because I'm okay right now to take on all of those things which I usually wasn't. Like I would just be in my own comfort zone. But now I'm okay because Toastmasters tells me that come out of your comfort zone if you really want to grow, and that's something that's really struck a chord in my head.
All right. That's amazing. I'm sure a lot of people can, find inspiration from that, in finding balance between your work life as well as your extracurricular Toastmaster life. Actually, it was a very good fun session. Now, Raksha, was so excited to have this candid conversation with you, and she's in fact written a poem for you, and Raksha is going to recite that. We are soon going to make it a.
Aww.
We.
Yeah. Okay, so here I go. She's got a smile that lasts more than a while. When she gets talking, you can't stop watching. She's a woman of her word. And if you get her to choose between the mic or biryani, her kids are her most preferred. She's shrewd and a mother of two. And if you spend a little time with her, she'll get the millennial out of you. And she gets out the millennial out of you. And that is Vandita Rangarajan for you.
Wow. Send me this on WhatsApp, okay? I'm definitely
yes.
showing off to my husband.
You should, and you should also put it on your stories, maybe.
I will. If you send it to me in a nice format, then I will easily put it on my
Yes,
story.
I'll do that.
Otherwise, I get a little clumsy doing it, but I will figure something out. Thank you.
All right. So now we just have 2 more minutes left for this meeting because we need to jump to the other one. So Vanita, what is that one message you would like to give to the audience that is actually listening to you today?
Because the mission of District 121 PRM is be your voice. So your voice, that one message that you would want to reach out to young people and everyone from all walks of life.
In 1 minute.
Okay, so I would ask you to be your best. There's a lot of comparison going on. There's a lot of beating yourself to be someone else. But really just what you need to focus on is seeing if you can wake up the next day and be a better version of what you were the previous day. Are you doing something different? Are you building yourself? Are you giving yourself the leeway? And are you just being okay to be able to put yet another good day of whatever that you are doing? So just simply for me, if I were to leave the audience with a message, it will just be to be your best and not somebody else's version of what they think is best. So be your best, everyone.
All right.
Thank you so much.
So here we come to the end of Let's Get Candid.
Here is one person whose grace and poise is the first thing you notice about her. But don't get fooled, because once she begins to speak, you will be equally amused with the power and the command in her voice. So without further ado, let me call upon DTM Savita Salian, who is the Club Growth Director of District 121. Welcome to Let's Get Candid, DTM Savita.
Thank you, Raksha. Thank you.
District 121 is like a newborn baby that has been handed over to you. So how does it feel to take care of the newborn baby into your hands?
I feel great that I'm the CGD of the new District 121, and it is very challenging, big responsibility, because we are the offspring of 92, which has done very well, and we come always in the top 3, and this time also it was fairly distinguished, so that is expected from 121 also. So you can imagine the responsibility. It's quite big, and the times are challenging.
Indeed.
A very challenging time, and that's the time when I've taken up this leadership and the responsibility.
So this is one thing we've always wondered, because you're an academician as well, and it takes some amount of conviction and a lot of strength to handle so many students. And is there something that you would like to share with us that would help benefit youngsters like us? Because soft skills is really important, and I'm sure you have that with you. So is there something that you would tell us about that?
Soft skill is very important because in today's time, academics, today's generation, if you see the percentage, it's 98, 99, 97 point, it's just a fraction of here and there. So everybody is doing well. It's because the parents are also pushing the child towards it, and even the children are very competitive. They know they have to get somewhere. Now, when you go for an interview or you go anywhere, what is that gives you an edge above the others? Is communication. So it's the way you speak, your voice, how calm you are, how you can handle things. So that is more important. Now, when everybody is at the same scale, how will an interviewer employ someone? So it is only this which will differentiate or, and take you forward. So that's how I feel that is very, very important. Soft skill is important.
Indeed. So, Toastmasters, it is a platform for building good communicators as well as good leaders. So, what is that you see about yourself? Are you more of a communication person or a leader or a communication leader?
I would say I'm more of a leader, and or you can say a communicator leader, because I'm a collaborative leader who doesn't believe in leading but working together and taking people along, and that's how I've reached here. And I'm very proud to say that I have one heart, I've won people's heart and confidence. That's why I'm here today. Otherwise, if you go to see, Mangalore has only one division, and if I have become the club growth director, it's because I have gained their confidence.
That is true, because we've been having a small chat with members of your club before having this talk with you, and they were all telling us of how reliable you are. That is the word they've been using. How reliable and how honest you are in approaching a situation, as well as they were also telling us how you're always have this very calm personality. You have this very calm personality where you get things sorted. It's like you're like this water which flows through everything and cools down the whole situation.
But we'd also like to know, is there something you do in order to remain or maintain that calm? Because it would take a lot to have that composure and that voice, I'm pretty sure. So would you like to share something with us? Because we also got to know that you recently started doing yoga. And is there something that you would like to share with us about that?
I would definitely give the credit to Toastmasters. I want to tell you that I'm a homemaker and have been at home for 20 long years. Okay, so when you're at home, you're the queen of the place, and everything works according to you. It's only when I stepped out, and that was Toastmasters that got me out of my portals of my house, and where I started meeting people, and there you realize it doesn't work the way it worked in your home. And if you can see me today calm or poised, or if you compliment me on that, and I would say that is my 10 years journey interacting with Toastmasters. That's what I have learned here. And I say with all sincerity that it is Toastmasters which has taught me all that and has got me where I am today, where I can handle people, or I can manage a lot of situations without panicking or being able. That's because I can take people along. I can tell you that, and that's Toastmasters. I would definitely give my credit to Toastmasters. Okay. And yoga has helped me. I've started with yoga. It's almost 2 years I've started yoga.
All right. So you've been telling us that you've been a homemaker for a very long time, and we came to know that you have 2 sons. Am I correct?
Yes.
So I also belong to a family where we have 2 sons, and I'm the elder one. There's a younger one. There's a lot of things happening, and my mother is also, she's got a lot of responsibilities in her professional career. So how is that you're managing, you being the queen? How is that you're holding the fort together at home and, getting Toastmasters, being so active in Toastmasters all the time?
There was a time when I had to really manage time. But today, if you ask me, I have the time because my children have grown the nest. If you got to see, my eldest son is doing his MS in construction management and he's in London. And my youngest son, he is doing his engineering. He's doing it from IIT Madras. This is 3rd year, so he's also gone. Now he's there with me because of this COVID and he's here. So it's easier for me now because they have grown. And I am very passionate about Toastmasters. And I can give in a lot of time there. Passionately, I am happy doing it. I'm happy doing anything when it comes to Toastmasters. It keeps me happy. It keeps me going. So if you say, I've benefited much more than if you see me giving. And it's mainly because I'm dealing with behavioral aspect. It's like dealing with people. Maybe if I had to deal with anything to do with anything to do with computers or machine, maybe I wouldn't be that happy. But this is because I am meeting people, I am with people, that keeps me engaged and keeps me very happy. I enjoy doing it. Basically, I enjoy it.
I think it definitely.
Yeah. Sorry.
I think it definitely takes a people person to get where you are today, because as a Toastmaster, you get to. It really helps you in your professional career as well, and even improving your interpersonal skills at home, which I have really figured that out in whatever little time I've been a part of Toastmasters. So this, if at all you were to choose a role, like a meeting has several roles, like the Toastmaster of the day, or the evaluator, or the timer, or the grammarian. And if that role was a person, so what person would you be if you were to choose a role as a person? I hope I've made the question a little clear. You can ask me if you have any doubts.
The role as a person, is it?
Basically,
Yes.
what kind of Toastmaster are you? Are you the grammarian? Are you the TMOD?
I'm the general evaluator.
We've got some evaluators amongst us.
Right, which is something we were really wondering. We got to know about DTM Vanita, about DTM Nirmala Lily, because we've attended events where I've gotten to see them speak, but I've never really gotten a chance to watch you speak. And today was really inspiring, truly. In every sphere that you have encountered or walked in your life, you happen to inspire us today. Thank you so much for being here and getting on this episode of Let's Get Candid. Before you leave, if there's one thing that we would want you to share, one message, because the motto of District PRM is be your voice. So through your voice, you have to share one message that would really influence or help us just change our perspectives. What would it be?
So, for Toastmasters, I would definitely say, if you think you have gained anything from Toastmasters, there is something called as payback time. You need to give it back. You need to give it back, and you need to spread the word so that many more people benefit from it. So, and if I am serving today as a club director, I feel this is my payback time. So I would tell others also to do that. I've learned a lot, and I'm very grateful to the organization. Yeah, thank you, Raksha, and thank you, Vishnu.
Thank you so much for your time out of your busy schedule, in between Toastmasters, your family, your academician role. It was indeed an honor to have you.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe to Let's Get Candid.
District 121. Like, share, and subscribe. Let's get candid.